Hello guys, so today I wanted to talk a little bit about the things that Medicare doesn't cover and health insurance doesn't cover that could potentially pose a threat or be detrimental to Medicare beneficiaries as far as what Medicare beneficiaries might think is covered. And this is going to kind of be more of how you like to do your practice, or how you like to kind of structure how you want to be perceived and how your practice is. I mean, we're all people who are professionals. We all have a practice, and I know it sounds like it's a doctor office or an attorney, but we all have a specific way of doing things, right? If not, we're just like a shop where you can buy stuff from, and that's not how I conduct my business. That's not how you should conduct yours. I think that what you should do is educate your clients as to what their biggest outlier costs are from a risk standpoint, right? And a lot of the risks nowadays are pretty substantial. So, statistically speaking, 1 out of 2 people will develop cancer. 1 out of 2 men, 1 out of 3 women. And most of those people, I believe it's somewhere in the realm of 80% of cancer diagnoses happen for people who are age 55 and older. So that means that a huge cluster of individuals will be diagnosed with cancer after they're on Medicare, and some of them before. But for Medicare beneficiaries, the cost of cancer, both on the medical side and the doctor services side, can be very high. So that is number one, the first thing that I talk to my clients about when they get onto Medicare, is that yes, Medicare does cover cancer, but the costs of cancer, even with Medicare insurance, is very expensive nonetheless. So I provide an opportunity to get cancer insurance. I have a couple of carriers I use depending on how healthy my client is. And if they had cancer recently, then we keep tabs on it to see when they become eligible to buy it again. The next gaping hole is short-term care or long-term care. Medicare does cover skilled nursing facility, and I've done a few videos covering this. But skilled nursing facility care, skilled nursing home care, is very minimal. It is acute. It is to help the Medicare beneficiary get better. If they don't have any way of taking care of themselves after they are discharged from the skilled nursing facility, or if they fall in the hole of not having the skilled nursing facility covered by Medicare, then they will have a large bill. And potentially they could be at home without any care, without any, even if it's affordable, a lot of times without the means to afford some care. So I talk about long-term care, short-term care, those types of products. The next thing that I usually go down and talk about is dental. Now, dental seems to be what most Medicare beneficiaries deem as like the number one thing. And it could be that a lot of them have noticed that they require implants, or they require dentures, bridges, many things that original Medicare doesn't cover, and many, believe it or not, dental plans do not cover. So that's another thing that I will talk about. Now, those are just the top 3 things that seniors need related to medical insurance. There is one thing that is not related to medical insurance, but definitely is something that our clients need. And that's some kind of final expense insurance. And what final expense insurance is it is a way for the family to pay for the funeral, and also to handle any of the outstanding finances that the individual might have. bills. I know it sounds silly, right? Who spends upward, more money than they bring in? You'll be surprised. But sometimes they need, or your, family, whoever's settling your estate, may need liquid money, which can be provided by life insurance, to access your accounts, or because they cannot access your accounts until probate or until the proper, paperwork has been signed at the bank. Maybe that you met with a financial planner who, is holding off on doing anything with the accounts until they receive the death certificate, and then the accounts have to be rolled over into your name, or they have to be properly, signed over paperwork. Life insurance makes that entire process able to be taken through without worrying about having to settle any bills, because the life insurance will pay for those. Kind of think of it as like a couple months float on parents' bills. And another thing that could happen is, what would happen if mortgage needs to be paid for, or if they have these larger bills that you need to send the money in and you can't, because you can't get access to the accounts. So that's another thing that we as insurance agents should be able to provide. And final expense insurance is something that, from an insurance salesperson standpoint, from my standpoint, it is expensive, but it does provide a cushion and financial security that sometimes people require. And I would say that for the folks that I've helped with final expense insurance, they're very happy, because most people think, unfortunately, that they cannot get it due to health reasons, or they cannot afford it. So they're very happy to know that they can afford something that will be enough for their family to carry out their wishes and not cause too much financial pressure over their death. So sometimes that is, or a lot of times that is something that many don't talk about, just because we as Medicare specialists, so to speak, do not think that is in their wheelhouse. So I would suggest talking about those 4 things. That's cancer insurance, short-term or long-term care, some kind of custodial care, insurance, dental insurance that covers implants and dentures, and then final expense insurance. And those are the kind of 4 most requested products. In the next video, I'll go ahead and talk about annuities, which can also be something you can help your client with, but that's for the next video.